Hello and welcome to this edition of Township Talk. I'm your host, Chuck Curl, and today we are with the TMA. And with us from the TMA is Project Coordinator Shayne Trimbell. Shayne, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chuck.
Well, I guess we should let everyone know, obviously the TMA is an abbreviation. It is the Greater Valley Forge Transit Management Authority.
Transportation Management Association.
There we go. We get it all in get that out of the way.
Yes.
But obviously, Shayne, you've been with the TMA since September. Some of the projects you've been involved with that you could share with the community on what's happening around Upper Merion Township.
Certainly. One of the biggest projects that we're working on right now, and I'm sure anybody that's commuting in the area will see it, is the bridge that's crossing the Schuylkill River between Upper Merion and Lower Providence Township.
Now, that project in itself, what are some of your responsibilities?
Well, as part of that, we have a coalition of municipalities. Upper Merion is included, West Norton and Lower Providence, and then it extends all the way out to Berks County. And the coalition is basically a forum for the municipalities to discuss transportation projects in the region. The Schuylkill River crossing bridge is one of those projects to alleviate traffic in the area.
Yeah, I know Governor Rendell was making a lot of noise in reference to a lot of the bridges in the area, in the state of Pennsylvania, that they might need to be revamped or looked over.
Correct. The structurally deficient bridges. And the idea is that to avoid having anything else like the Minneapolis collapse occur here in Pennsylvania, they're allocating funding to reconstruct, replace, or repair any bridges in the state that have been deemed structurally deficient. And it's a very complicated process to determine what is structurally deficient. But that's the idea. And the project that you see now on 422 is part of that initiative to address the structurally deficient bridges. But that project also is addressing the commuting problems that people are having, the backups that in the morning will extend out to Limerick and in the afternoon will extend onto 202 and onto the Schuylkill Expressway. So by reconstructing the bridge, it will essentially widen it into the westbound travel direction at a third lane and alleviate the afternoon traffic.
Yeah, give me an idea. You know, we've seen a lot of production in this area, especially here in Upper Merion Township, with 202 and the corridors to 76. What type of planning is involved? Like, are there a number of surveys? How many different outside organizations get involved? And does it all come out of one home?
Yeah, it's very extensive. It doesn't come out of one place. A lot of times it'll come out of a perceived need. So if you look at your roads and you're seeing backup, that's where it kind of starts. And then a traffic study will be done to see where the cars are coming from, where they're going, and how intense the backups really are. And from that's where the plans continue to move forward with going into engineering design to create alternatives for that intersection or for that section of roadway to really improve the traffic flow. And a lot of it is not necessarily adding lanes and adding capacity, but many times it's just improving the intersection. Maybe it's the timing of the signal or alleviating a dangerous turn or straightening out an intersection or an S-curve in a road. So not every time does it need to be a full-on reconstruction, but sometimes there are some more softer applications that can be taken in to really help traffic move.
Yeah, little tweaks here and there, I'm sure.
Exactly.
I guess you're involved in a number of different projects at this point. Anything new on the horizon that you have coming up?
Yeah, one thing that we've been getting involved with the TMA is biking. It's especially right now with the price of gas going up, people are starting to look to alternative modes of transportation. Transit and using SEPTA is one of them, and biking has become very popular, and to use your bike instead of driving. And looking at most car trips, they occur within 5 miles of the home, which is a prime location to be riding your bike. That's right. So one thing that we're getting involved with is bicycling, specifically bike sharing. We just started a program in Pottstown Borough called Bike Pottstown, which is a community bike share program where anybody in the community can come out, take a bike out, ride it around, and return it, and it's free of charge. So you don't even have to own a bike to be biking there. We're providing the bike for you. But more than that, it's really trying to get roads to be designed with bicyclists and pedestrians in mind so that there are sidewalks and there's bike lanes and there's adequate facilities for them to be using.
Yeah, a lot has to do with the environment as well. I know the bike program is already taking place in Philadelphia. So I guess they're trying to move it out this way as well. And so far, from what I've heard in other cities, it's been very successful.
Yeah, bike sharing has been very successful throughout the country. It's starting here in the U.S. It's starting to grab hold. Washington, D.C. just began a program this year, and Philadelphia is looking to begin a program. There's some out on the West Coast. A lot of West Coast cities have taken on bike sharing, but really it started in Europe about 40 years ago. So it's starting to grab hold here in the U.S., and a lot of it is as a result of gas prices going up and people looking to be more environmentally conscious.
It almost mimics the car share as well. A lot of people now are starting to share cars, obviously with the price of gas rising. Is that something that the TMA has been looking into as well?
Yeah, Philly Car Share is a very interesting program where a neighborhood essentially owns the car collectively, and the people can use that car as they need to instead of owning a car. And it really, if you live in an urban environment, owning a car may not make sense because, well, you're not driving it that often. And if 20 or 30 people can own one car and share the cost of the insurance, the maintenance, and the just kind of the daily driving costs, it really does make it worthwhile. Here in the suburbs, it's a little more difficult because typically your densities aren't as high as they are in urban environments, and people are really still attached to their car, and they need it to get around, especially here in Upper Merion where you have a lot of facilities that are meant really to be driving on.
Yeah, you don't have the short, quick trip where you can go from one end of town to the other. Here, there's a little bit more distance between one place, point A to point B.
Exactly. There are, and there's not as many facilities nearby that you can necessarily walk to, or there might be one, but if you need to make 2 or 3 stops, it's difficult.
Yeah, well, getting back to like some of the bridges that are being looked at right now, are you involved in any one specific that's on the drawing board to say, hey, this is one bridge we better take a good look at now?
As far as looking at structurally deficient bridges, there aren't any that are kind of screaming rebuild or replace right now. But what is going on is they're just evaluating the status of all of the bridges in the state to really look at what the need is and where the importance are to rebuild them. So to say is there any one particular bridge, I would say that all of them need some work, and the level of work that they need is to be argued.
Okay. Well, we're going to take our first break here today on Township Talk. We are with Shayne Trimbell, all part of the TMA as a project coordinator, and we'll be back with more right after these messages on UMGA Television.